Mikel Arteta confirmed this morning that Martin Odegaard will be out for a number of weeks. Arsenal take on Fulham tomorrow and head into the match with summer signing Viktor Gyokeres having not scored in 6 league games. Arteta, though, not worried.
He brings so much to the team, and watching the games back, I'm very pleased with what he's giving to the team. I told him before the first meeting, I said, the 9 that I want is a 9 that when he doesn't score for 6 or 8 games, he can handle that. If not, you have to go somewhere else, because the pressure is gone, the expectation is going to be there. So if you put the number 9 shirt for Arsenal, you have to be able to say, okay, 6 games, don't score. Am I a different player? I start to act in a different way. I want much more of the same of what he's doing. And yeah, once we have those opportunities, put them. I'm sure it's going to happen. Going back in his history as well with Viktor, it's a very different one. The beginning and when he wasn't even playing much, and then how he evolved his career. Then in the last year, very difficult to find a gap of that, because I think he scored in every single match almost. But just preparing something, the context is going to change. It's part of football. You see the history of the number 9s. You're going to have moments like that. Hopefully it's through playing, not that you don't even have the option to play and you are injured. So his robustness is something really good. I'm really happy with him, full confidence. And when you look at him every single day, how much he wants it, that's exactly what you expect.
Declan Rice said on England's duty that you've slightly changed his role this season, given him some more freedom. Can you speak to us about how that change has been and how happy you are of how he's partnered up with Martin Zubimendi?
Yeah, I think he's adapting to the qualities that we have, and as well certain chemistries, a certain relationship that you notice, and with 8 new players in the squad, different things emerge, and just trying to maximize his qualities in relation to others to give the team the best capacity to perform.
Keeping them out at Craven Cottage is obviously a big part of it, and you've done that well so far this season as a group. That's the best in all the top European leagues in terms of the number of goals you conceded in the first 10 games of all competitions. Well, that's a platform to build performances and results, that's for sure, and we want to consistently be able to defend at that level. In order to do that is as well how well we attack and how committed everybody is to do what we have to do. And if we continue to do that, it's going to give us a big chance to get what we want.
Jay Bothroyd, former Arsenal striker, of course, is here until midday. We'll get to current Arsenal striker Viktor Gyokeres in a moment. But how big a blow is it, this continued absence of Martin Odegaard?
It is a blow, because he is a quality player, and he has been. And he showed that, and that's why he's Arsenal captain. But I think now the Arsenal team has evolved. I do believe that a better midfield now is Zubimendi, Rice and Eze in there.
So even if fit, you'd still have Eze over Odegaard? Yeah,
100%. I think that you get more out of those players. I think Zubimendi has been quality. I was a bit sceptical of Zubimendi, to be honest, coming to the Premier League. But after watching him play regularly now, I like the way he distributes the ball. I like the way he always looks for the forward pass. I like the way he gets them balls in between the lines early to give the likes of Declan Rice, Eze, Saka's, whoever plays, Madueke's, go and get at teams. I feel like with Odegaard, he takes too many touches and he slows Arsenal's game down. There's no doubt about it, he's a quality player, but I think now he's not in Arsenal's best 11, if I was choosing it.
Well, we're going to speak to an Arsenal fan shortly and see what he thinks about that. I'm interested to know whether that's a kind of general feeling at the moment. Let's go on to Viktor Gyokeres, though. It's no goals in 6 for Arsenal. He didn't score for Sweden and he played 2 games in the international break in that time. Arteta says he's not concerned. Should he be?
Yes, I think so. I think he should be, because ultimately Gyokeres has come there to score goals, and he hasn't even really looked like he's going to score goals. It's not like he's missing big chances. And I think sometimes if you're a striker and you're getting in them positions and you're missing those chances, I would look at that and I'll say, well, at least you're getting in them positions to miss them, and they will come soon. But at the moment, he's finding it tough. And I think that's his style of play. When I see him play when he was at Sporting, a lot of his goals and a lot of his good play where he was running down the side of the box, for balls over the top. And I think now when you're playing for Arsenal, a lot of teams are going to sit in. It's going to be a low block. There's not much space to to work in behind, and I think that's why he's finding it difficult. And just a question for you, like, you know, Arteta mentioned, you know, when he was at Sporting, like, apart from Sporting, Braga, Benfica and Porto, name me a Portuguese side.
Boa Vista, Rio Ave. Several more.
I mean, one, like, and that's the thing, like, yes, he had a great time in Portugal, but ultimately, I think the Portuguese is like the seventh best or something like that on Opta stats. So that's irrelevant. I just think that for him personally, he needs to get any kind of goal now to kickstart his Arsenal career. And he should be, because Arsenal creates so many chances. Like, why is he not? He's there to score goals and he's not scoring them. The thing that hurts my feelings, to be honest, I think he put pressure on himself as soon as he took that number 14 shirt. He should not have been anywhere near that number 14 shirt. People say it's only a shirt. But when you wear that 14 shirt, there's expectation on you now. And I think he put unnecessary pressure on himself by taking it.
But a lot of people said that Gyokeres was signed to be the difference in those games that Arsenal should win, that maybe last season they weren't getting over the line. Fulham away, Crystal Palace at home, Burnley away, Sunderland away are the next 4. Is this the time for Gyokeres to shine?
Well, yeah, he does have to score against them, but you don't spend whatever it is, 60-odd million on a player to say, oh, let's beat Sunderland. Arsenal will probably beat Sunderland without Gyokeres anyway. You say, oh, but they didn't before, but more often than not they do. And you know, the scenario that stands out to me is when Arsenal were, I forgot how many years it would go now, but Arsenal were, you know, comfortably in top of the league, and then they lost to, I think they drew against Southampton, lost against West Ham, and lost against Bournemouth. Like those are the, you know, games where you would say, oh, Gyokeres would score in those games, but he's there for more than that. Arsenal need a striker or a player to score 20 Premier League goals. That's why he's been bought. So it's not a case of he's been bought to play against certain teams and not other teams. Because if you've been, OK, don't play him against Liverpool then. Don't play him against Man United.
Well, he might not if Havertz is fit.
And against Man City.
But he might not if Havertz is fit.
He will play. He will play. I mean, Arteta's going to keep playing him until he gets into form. And I think he will score goals, but I just don't think he will score 20. You can't not score goals at Arsenal. You can't not score goals at Man City and Liverpool, teams like that, because they create so many chances. They'll create tap-ins for you at some point. He's got to score goals. That's what he's there for. And I think that it's excuses now, because even me, when I was playing, people would say, oh, but he doesn't score enough. Now it's like, oh, but he does so much on the other side. Like, I was doing so much on the other side back in the day anyway. Is that what gets you a £70 million move now? Or is it goals? Because that's what we've got to look at as well.
OK, well, Sky Sports are partnered with Finalysis, an app where passionate fans share their opinions on their club. You can represent your club. Scan that QR code or visit the Sky Sports app for more details. We speak to Arsenal supporter Luke Henry now. Luke Henry, let's ask you first of all about the striker then. We're going to go to Odegaard in a minute, because that was well, why not? I bet he's glad. I bet. Right, Luke, are you glad that I've pronounced your name in that way?
Delighted.
Yes.
That's how I like to.
Does everyone else pronounce it that way, though?
They will now.
Pardon?
Does everyone else pronounce it that way?
They will now. Yeah, from now on.
He's also got number 14 tattooed on his back. Right. We'll get to Odegaard in a minute. It's an interesting point that Jay made, and a lot of people have been backing it up on the WhatsApp message has been coming in. I've noticed out the corner of my eye. But Viktor Gyokeres, are you worried about him at this stage? Arteta isn't.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there that Jay mentioned. Let's start with Gyokeres. One word, no, I'm not. And Jay, you touched on it there. Yes, he's there to score goals, but he's doing so much for the team. And
what is he doing for the team?
Well, look, football is fine margins, right? And we could be having a completely different conversation if I know it's an if, but against Newcastle, he worked tirelessly, won us the penalty.
So you're telling me now players get bought because they work hard?
Well, no, but
every single football player should work hard, so that's a given. We can't say that's what he does. Like, I've watched the games. He's not particularly holding the ball up very well for someone of his stature. He should be getting a hold of the ball better. He's not. He doesn't link the play great. So what's he there for?
I can disagree with that, because against Newcastle, I thought he was quite exceptional in the first half, the way he held the ball up. And what he's doing, which people don't realise, is that he's given Bukayo Saka the licence to have a one-on-one. We haven't seen that in the last couple of seasons. Trossard is coming from the left-hand side into a more central role, and we're adapting. And
Saka's always been good for Arsenal.
No,
Saka,
but my
Saka,
point
it doesn't matter if Saka's got 2-on-1. Saka's always been, he gets the numbers, he puts in the performances, so that's irrelevant. Like, this is the thing that annoys me, because you're just telling me now you get bought for 70 million to stand in the middle and occupy defenders so other players can play well. What's that about?
with
You're meant to
respect,
score goals, you're meant to do other things. You're making
with respect,
excuses for a player that's not playing well.
I'm not. We bought him for 55 million first and foremost, so that's incorrect.
Is that cheap then?
Well, if you look at the market for strikers, I think it is quite cheap when considering his record last season across Europe. I don't think it's the most outstanding amount of money. And you have to look at it because we're not just buying Viktor Gyokeres. We brought a whole attack in Noni Madueke.
He's played well. He's played very well when he's played. He's injured now.
He has.
Eze's played very well when he's played. When he's playing. Zubimendi's played very well.
Yes, he has.
Timber's played very well. Like, all these players have slotted into Arsenal's team and played very well. And I just think, listen, I'm not saying Gyökeres is trash. I'm saying he's a very good player. But, no, I'm not saying he is trash. I'm saying he's still a good player. But for Arteta to say that he does a lot for the team, I haven't seen that. Every single player should work hard.
But with respect, I have, because he's given us something different that we haven't had before. He's completely different to Kai Havertz, and Arteta's very big on this, and he said this for the last 3 seasons, way before we had like Aubameyang, Lacazette, Gabriel Jesus. If you're not scoring, I need to see how you're contributing. And one thing
has he got any assists?
No, he hasn't got any assists recently.
So you're telling me, all you're talking to me about then is his physical attributes, which is working hard.
He's got 3 goals in 7 games in the Premier League.
He scored 2 in 1 game. But I'm saying to you, you're telling me about his work rate. And I'm saying to you, a contribution is making the pass before the assist, or an assist, or a goal. He's not contributing in that way. I watch Arsenal. I watch every single game.
Believe me, I watch every single game. I go to every single game, and I'm watching what I see on the pitch. And I know I completely agree with what you're saying. If he is 1-on-1 and he's not putting the chances away, we'll have a conversation. But what I'm seeing is a striker that we need to understand his game, and he still needs to understand our game.
Do you not think? Sorry to interrupt you, because I'm interrupting you a lot now because I'm just being objective. But do you not think that that's worrying, the fact that he's not getting chances at Arsenal? Because he has to. That's his responsibility. Like, I wouldn't. Do you know why I wouldn't care? I would prefer Gyökeres to be missing loads of chances, but getting in that position rather than not having them chances and not getting in that position.
I agree. And against West Ham, he had a couple of chances when he wasn't impactful in the first half. But like I said, in the second half against West Ham, Declan Rice puts the ball across, and Gyökeres is a toe away from putting it in the back of the net, and then we're having a different conversation. If he takes the penalty against Newcastle, he's won the penalty. He may take the penalty.
If he takes the penalty,
no, but that would.
Now you're talking about he's not the penalty taker.
No, but Jay, you're missing my point. What I'm saying is,
Saka's the penalty taker. Saka was injured.
Right,
Saka's the penalty taker. Now you're saying if he took the penalty, he didn't take the penalty. He got brought down.
Because it wasn't. But my point is, we'd be having a different conversation. If that penalty was given, he puts the ball in the net. The following week, he gets a toe end against West Ham. We're having a different conversation about how he started his life at Arsenal. I get there's so much scrutiny. Forget what shirt number you wear.
No, you don't forget that. Shirt numbers mean something, especially when legends mean it. Like when you look at Man United, you put shirts. Players wear shirt numbers because they're legendary. 14 is a legendary shirt number. 10 is a legendary shirt number. You put your best players in them.
Yeah, I agree that. But Eddie Nketiah wore the 14 shirt. I get that. No disrespect to him.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, he's done better than Gyökeres in an Arsenal shirt.
Has he?
Yeah.
He
scored more goals.
There's lots of debatable points there, but another one which we'll get your opinion on, Luke, is Jay would say that even if Odegaard was fit, he would still play Eze alongside Rice and Zubimendi. What would you do?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think, especially from me, I think your captain is one of your most important players, and I think your captain has to play every single game if he's fit. There is a little bit of a concern now because of last season and his injuries, and now that's carried on this season. Unfortunate nonetheless. But no, I don't think it's Eze or Odegaard. Personally, I think it's Eze and Odegaard. And I think that's something that Arteta needs to not do more, but
who comes out, or are you playing Eze somewhere else?
I think we play Eze off the left, and I think you play Rice, Zubimendi.
Can I say, I mean, the one thing that I would say that if you're going to play a 3 in midfield, I think there's other players that are creeping up now. Like, you know, Ethan Nwaneri. When Ethan Nwaneri's played in that position, he's been fantastic. And to me, this is just my personal opinion, he's got more of a ceiling than Odegaard. He's more of a threat to the goal than Odegaard. He will get goals and get assists. He's got pace. He can glide past players. So I'm not saying that he should definitely be starting, but I'm saying there's a question for that now. I think one thing I would say, sorry, Luke, just to interrupt you one last time and then you can go. I would start to look at, if I was Arteta, I'd start to look at playing, you know, the 4-2-3-1 and having like Eze as a guaranteed number 10 and then Zubimendi and Declan Rice, but saying to Declan Rice, go and get involved in the game, go and affect the game like he's been doing.
But Declan Rice has got this new position on the left. Now, I'll come back to your point about Ethan Nwaneri, but this is what we want as Arsenal fans. But I don't want to create... There is competition in the players, but I don't want to create competition in terms of he's better than that. We need every single player. And the reason I start with Eze off the left and Odegaard is because it gives defenders something to think about when Eze is gliding in from the left.
You said you said that you'd play Eze and Odegaard rather than Eze or Odegaard. And I'm saying now that Nwaneri's in that conversation for me because he hasn't been given the opportunity yet.
But that doesn't necessarily because when Odegaard was injured against Nottingham Forest, Ethan Nwaneri came on.
Last year when he was injured for 4 months of the season, he put Martinelli and Saka. He didn't play Ethan regularly in that position.
Saka was injured and Ethan Nwaneri played.
No, he didn't. Martinelli played on the right.
And Ethan Nwaneri had 1,000 minutes and played a lot of football.
1,000 minutes? 1,000 minutes of coming off the bench. I'm talking about starts.
He's 17. He's 17
So what if he's 17? Rooney was 17 when he come onto the stage. We're talking about someone. This is the thing. We're talking about someone that is a generational talent. He could be one of the best young players in the world, but he's not getting the minutes. When you look at the other players in the world, the likes of Yamal, Pedri, Gavi, all these kind of players, they play at 17 years old.
Ethan Nwaneri is playing, and I don't know why we're having a conversation, no disrespect to Ethan Nwaneri, because this is about
He ain't playing.
Yeah. Well, let's see at the weekend. But Ethan Nwaneri is part of the team. He's a crucial part. But we've got Noni Madueke, we've got Eze, we've got Odegaard.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. The squad is probably the strongest squad we've ever had.
And we need everyone in the team. So it's not a case of having Eze in for Odegaard every week.
Yeah, but that's the question. That's the question to you, though.
And my answer to you was both, because I think you have to play your best players at the start. And there's something for me that I find is so important, is that your captain has to be your beat, your rhythm, your tone on the pitch.
So who's your captain?
Odegaard is our captain.
No, who would be your captain?
Odegaard's my captain, and I know there's been a conversation for a while. I wouldn't change the captain. The only way I'd have a conversation about changing the captain is when your captain doesn't play. And if there comes a point in the next 18 months to 2 seasons, if Martin Odegaard finds himself on the bench, then maybe we'd have another conversation about the captain.
The only thing I would say on that I agree with you on that point, right? So, to me, I would make my captain would be the person that is guaranteed starting every single week. Again, I don't think that about Odegaard anymore.
And I would look at Rice. Declan Rice. I look at Saka. Saliba. I look at these Saliba, Gabriel. Like, I look at these players now before I look at Odegaard. Yeah, and that's fair enough. And I look at it from a different way. I look at to more the Liverpool model, and it's probably a bad example, but you look at the likes of Van Dijk wasn't captain, Salah wasn't captain, Mane wasn't captain, Fabinho wasn't captain. They're all leaders on the pitch.
That's because Gerrard was captain.
Jordan Henderson, I'm talking about being the captain.
Jordan Henderson, yeah, but that's because, exactly, Jordan Henderson, and he played every week.
He played every week, but he wasn't, and Odegaard, for me, has to still play every week. I know it's frustrating with these injuries, but Odegaard still people forget, I know last season was very disruptive for him off the pitch, but the previous 2 seasons, he has been excellent. And even recently this season, when he played against Olympiacos, I was at the game and everyone was saying, that's Odegaard back to his best, giving Viktor Gyokeres a little bit of some chances in the first half. Even West Ham for the first 20 minutes before he came off injured. Again, it was like, he looks in the mood. And when I was at the game, there was loads of groans about it because he was like, oh, not again, because he was just trying to play his way back into form.
Again, listen, getting injured is really unlucky, but ultimately, when he's played, apart from the season where he got double figures, I think, in assists and goals.
You've gone 12 rounds with each other. Okay, it's a split decision. Luke, well done.
No worries.
You fought a very good fight there. Luke Henry, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Take
Luke.
care. Thank you very much.